Hello, hello, and welcome back as I sell out harder than Shaquille O'Neal in a Vagisil commercial down in the nasty narrows of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. That's right, folks, because this episode is brought to you by Quaker Oats' brand new Big Chewy Granola Bars. Now with 60% more bar per bar, that's 60% more delicious whole grain goodness and rich chocolatey chocolate chips than ever before. Also available in Perfidious Pete's new flavor, peanut butter chocolate chip, packed with extra protein and more real peanut taste than even Jimmy Carter can shake a stick at. That's right, folks, Quaker Oats brand Big Chewies, available now at fine supermarkets everywhere where Quaker Oats products are sold. Okay, that's probably enough of that. I mean, I do love Big Chewies, peanut butter chocolate chip Big Chewies. Hells yeah, bring them on. But honestly, you know what? If Quaker Oats wanted me pimping granola-based bar-shaped food products for them, I have to assume they'd ask me to pimp their sweet and salty chocolate salted caramel because it's got the word salt in it twice, and it's definitely a more fitting product placement for old Perfidious Pete. I mean, with the exception of the sweet part. The sweet part probably not fully accurate. I am the guy who spent the last two episodes mostly talking about Padme getting fingered. So maybe I'm not the most wholesome spokesman for a Quaker product? Probably not. What about the Vagisil reference at the top of the episode, Pete? Yeah, you know, also a thing, but honestly, I was just trying to think of what the most inappropriate product for Shaquille O'Neal to try and sell, and considering that he does not have a vagina, Vagisil seemed like it would be right up at the top of the list. I mean, right? Shaquille? No vagina? But also, here's the other thing. If given the opportunity, we can all agree that Shaquille O'Neal would definitely do like a product spot for Vagisil, though, right? I mean, he would do that. Shaquille O'Neal will sell anything. That man lives to sell stuff. He doesn't care what it is. He'd come up with the reason why he thinks you should buy Vagisil, and then, you know what? His lovable kind of doofy attitude at the end of the commercial, you'd basically be convinced. You'd be like, you know what? Shaquille O'Neal is right. I also don't have a vagina, but I'm pretty sure I could use some of that product. I think Vagisil may be just what I need to relieve my minor feminine itching. Then you'd be like, wait a minute. If you had a vagina, plus, I mean, it's an even easier sell if you actually have one. But if you don't, at the end of that commercial, you'd still be half convinced that Shaquille was right. Maybe that itching that's been troubling you could be solved by a healthy dose of Vagisil products. Destroyed. How come we got off on these guys? It must be the speed buff, I guess, is just giving us advantage because almost everyone on our team has guns. Yeah, it's just the speed buff. Okay. So bonus speeds, bonus crit, actually doing some real good work here. Drums of Doom coming at us. It's not half so dooming as listening to me sit here talk about the hypothetical commercial in which Shaquille O'Neal tries to sell a feminine hygiene product. Man, this pig man really does have quite a heavy-duty amount of protection working because the rest of his team has been all but dropped by the overwhelming, brutal assault of one Jack Dawson. But this guy, he's like a Kim Wilde song, man. He just keeps on hanging on. Some portraits, gold we will take. Crest we can also take. Not the Journal of Darius Rucker, so honestly, we can't be troubled to even care a little bit, not even at all. And maybe this is a good spot to camp. We don't really need a stress relief, but I think we could use some buffs. Except we already have buffs, though. The only reason I would be camping here is to try and get some stuff out of my inventory. And if I want stuff out of my inventory, I can just throw it on the ground. Plus, what are we going to get out of that? That's just food? We don't give a shit about food. We came down here for the experience anyway, more so than the money. We also came down here to apparently get robbed all the shit by Elizabeth March, who keeps taking every goddamn thing we can find. How did you not wind up in jail in Little Women? It seems like you should have gotten your hands cut off, because Puritan New England would not have been the kind of place to put up with your rampant thievery, Elizabeth. We also forgot to put our party back in the proper order, which means once again our jester is in the rear. Not that that's necessarily a huge problem. The extra speed and critical buffs, I mean, they're doing good work for us. We're still getting some mileage out of it. Wouldn't mind getting away from the vomiting, and it's the disease more than anything else that troubles me about the warrants. When you come down here, almost invariably you're going to walk out with one or more of your party diseased, and it's just irritating. If we had a plague doctor or perhaps a gravedigger on the team, sure, we could self-combat the diseases with a little bit of camping, but that's not how our party configuration worked out this time. Probably should have thrown that at the swine spawn in the back rather than at that pigman. But we did get rid of at least one of the stress-causing units. We'll throw another battle ballad here. And if we have to grind out an extra turn against Jimmy the Pig Boy, I suppose it's not the end of the world. We're going to get rid of these corpses and push him to the front. Or at least to the front enough that we can hit him. Another vomit for Bradshaw. Oh, and good. We've got the runs, too, now. Double up on the disease. Well, that's brilliant. Let's just infect him with everything. Why not give him a bubonic plague while you're over there? And somebody's like, Pete, the bubonic plague, really? No, bubonic plague is definitely a disease that's in this game. I mean, you can get it. You will get the plague at some point. We have a leper in our party right now. You don't think he's got at least a little bit of plague working back there? Because he does. He's a leper. This will likely kill him. And honestly, we're as diseased as we could get. I'd prefer to not kill him. Let's just go for the... push him to the front. I don't know what these guys can even do in first position. I don't think they can still just vomit on us. All right. Spread the love, I guess. Might as well give you a disease, too. That basically hits the entire team, then.
Annihilated.
Still annihilated him. We're going to burn this torch. We'll take whatever we can carry. We're going to drink the holy water just for a little extra disease buffage, I guess. And then we just continue on. Because, again... we're not making out much loot here, but we didn't come for the loot. We came for the EXP. We're staying for the loot. Come for the EXP. Stay for the loot. And by loot, I actually am talking about the musical instrument that our Jester is carrying. Even though, for whatever reason, I can never seem to remember to put the Jester back in the front where he goes, because he could have just one-shot killed that dude, and then we wouldn't be still here messing with his ass. He'd just be a corpse lying on a floor in a heap. Damage out of Elizabeth March, which turns out isn't actually that much. Tentacle Devour. We are marked, so that's going to do a little bonus damage. Not the end of the world. We probably don't even really need to heal. Let's just soften this guy up so that when we get a shot at that third position, we can really capitalize. And I'm going to go stress relief even over another battle ballad. We've got this pretty well in hand. Between the bleed and Jack Dawson's overwhelming slaughterous damage. Slaughterous is not a word, Pete. It is now. I just made it up. But between those two factors, we're not really going to have to worry about much in the old fighting department. Well, just because he's in a position we can't hit well doesn't mean we still can't hit it. We can't fire off optimally at that position, but we got plenty of fire in the tank. If only that was true. If only we had plenty of fire in the tank because everybody was wielding a flamethrower, I feel like Darkest Dungeon would be a hell of a lot easier. Speaking of which, why are we not doing that actually, guys? Is there some kind of anti-flamethrower lobby or something? Is there like a powerful organization that says no flamethrowers are not allowed? If so, why? And also, why don't we just refuse to abide by their guidelines? I mean, the Geneva Convention sets down a whole bunch of rules too, but that doesn't necessarily mean you got to abide by them. You can just be like, yeah, screw it, put me on trial. I don't care. Take me to the Hague. Give me an extra 30% bonus damage here as well. Yeah, medicinal herbs. Sweet. So Jack Dawson's going to be hitting like a freaking freight train. Or like Fred Durst on a Friday night. Coming at you like a freight train. First one on the mat leaves with a blood stain. Or alternatively, like this guy. That was the wrong ability, Pete. You wanted to finale, not solo. Hardly matters. We're still going to get him. Everything is fine. This is not the end of the world. Kill this man with the hook where it hurts. His corpse is going to be bleeding. We'll set up Johnny the Pig Man just for an easy kill for our Jester, who definitely should win a speed roll. Jack Dawson should have extra resist because of his holy water drinking. Oh, he's going to get accused, too. J'accused! It's all over for us. We've been j'accused. Oh, great. We've been accused, and now Robespierre is going to come and mess with us. Staggering force. That's a big chunk of our damage taken out of the fight right there. So let's go ahead and use the right ability this time. What would not, I think, have been a one-shot kill had we not softened him up a little bit. I did hit the corpse on purpose. I just wanted to bring this guy to the third position. Doomsay, nice little AoE stress. Okay, our stress is getting a little high. I think we definitely are going to want to camp at the end of this. Jack Dawson's about one critical from a freak out. He's also bleeding and is a little vulnerable to bleeds. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. We'll have Maud Flanders whack him in the face with her stick. A little inspiring tune. Maybe just bring that stress level down a little bit. Got to diminish our violent impulses. Well, that's getting undone. Well played, frothing madman. Well played. He hard countered me. You're gonna have a tough time hard countering that big giant sword that's about to smash into your brain. What do you got a hard counter for that? I mean, you are gripping your head as if to protect it from the inevitable brain smashing. I don't really necessarily feel like it's gonna work that well. Mace Bash gives him a little damage. We'll undo some more of Jack Dawson's troubled spirits. And then we're gonna have him chop this man in half. Or miss, and then get accused again. I'm assuming he accused him of being bad at his job. Be like, you're not very good at this, are you? And he was like, oh, you got my number. I'm actually not. Nice critical heal from Maud Flanders, though, gonna get us a little bit of that stress back. And I am not dilly-dallying. I am actually trying to kill these guys. Don't give me reinforcements and bullshit. We're not playing for time. You missed. Jack Dawson's like, oh, don't trifle with these creatures. I'm not trifling with them. You're just shitty at your job. Don't blame me for your failings. This guy's projecting. Don't displace. See? That's 2 in a row. Good thing Elizabeth March is here to clean up your stupid mess.
Seize this
Bonus accuracy. We can't really do any of this. And we are going to camp pretty much right here. So let's go ahead and reorder our party. We got a little free scouting too, which is going to let us skip one of these hallway fights. I am going to do that because I don't really see any particular advantage in fighting it.
Huddled together.
Get our feast in, and then it's, taking a trip to Jestertown here so we can get some just amazing stress relief. So, where's every rose has its thorn? All right, we're going to do that. Every rose be thornin', and then we're going to turn back time. Who else has stress? 26. Our Jester has about all of our stress left. Let's go ahead and do that. And then anybody else with Encourage can... I mean, Bless is not bad either. We could Sanctuary just to make sure we don't get nighttime ambush, but nobody really has any problem with that. Bonus protection is not terrible. Let's Encourage you. I think we'll just go for the double Encourage. 9, 9, 3, 11. What can we get out of 2 time here? You can give yourself minus 25 stress and give everybody else 5. That seems like not a fantastic idea. It's either that or we can give something. You know what? Here. Give our Jack Dawson. Give him a little pep talk there. Pep him up. I don't know what you're going to tell Nick Bradshaw to inspire him. I mean, he's a fighter pilot from the 80s, and you're a rich guy from, like, the turn of the century. So, honestly, I don't really know what sort of inspiring tale you're going to tell that man. Double maggot dead? Double maggot dead. That's exactly what we like to see. Ruinous damage from our boy right off the jump. Okay, I mean, that was a good shot, Slavering Ghoul. Credit where credit is due. You got us good. You got us good on that one. Rather than go for that bleed, probably the right move would have been to go for the adrenaline rush. Cancel the bleed, take the damage buff for our subsequent attacks. In fact, that's what I'm going to do right now. Because we're not going to be able to kill this ghoul in 1 round unless we get a really, really monster crit here, which we did not, so... He just traded 2 turns worth of damage for like 1.5 turns worth of damage. But what if he lives a 3rd round? Then we're seeing a net gain. We're planning for the future. Perfidious Pete isn't going for the quick and dirty. Perfidious Pete is playing the long con, baby. You gotta think of the long con. You also gotta be a little upset that your Jester got stunned and now can't stress relief anymore.
Devastating blow.
A little bonus critical damage. Nice. And you're dead. Okay. Back-to-back crits from our Jester doing work right there. And we finally found something that we can carry along with us.
And purpose is made clear.
Restore our party order. And I think we go ahead and just purify this. Okay, picked up 6 extra food, which I'm just gonna eat. Anybody heard it all? Nope. Well, we've eaten as much as we could possibly eat, so on we go. Can anybody in this team disarm a trap? Well, I mean, Bradshaw's like the best at it. He ain't very good, but good enough to get the job done, I suppose. All those years sitting in the Rio seat reading those technical manuals have really paid some dividends for him. need a Rio. That's what I've decided. For my Darkest Dungeon play, I really need my own Rio. I need a goose to my Maverick. Somebody to be like, hey, what interactable is it that goes on this rack of blades? And I'm like, isn't it medicinal herbs? And my Rio could be like, no, man, it's bandages. You got to throw a bandage on there. And save me from my own stupidity. And also earn me an extra 1,000 gold with that sapphire and give me a bunch more food I can't necessarily eat. See, this is why I got to have a Rio. I need my radar intercept officer. He should also be like, Pete, you're probably coming up on a hallway fight in here, too. Radar senses are tingling. That like weird kid with the ears from MASH. I can feel him coming on. Negative quirk removal. Hells yeah, who wants it? Bradshaw has a torn rotator cuff. Honestly, the way we use our... Is this a ranged attack? You know, melee is... Finale is a melee attack, and we're getting minus 5% damage to that. And that 5% is off of a relatively big number. I really don't care about either Flagellant or Necromania. Both of those are quirks I'm willing to tolerate. Fear of Beasts, Kleptomania sucks. Maybe we could cure Elizabeth March of her Kleptomania. That wouldn't be terrible. Dark Temptation, Demonomania, Automatonophobia is also terrible, though. Actually, both... You know what? No, you have 2 terrible quirks, Maud Flanders. Let's get that shit taken care of. Alright, we got Thanatophobia. That's like a fear of death and whatnot. It's fine. She doesn't take plus stress when she's at low health anymore. Any negative quirk you can walk away from is a good negative quirk. We're shedding bad habits here. It's just like Maud quit smoking. Maud Flanders didn't strike you as a smoker. It always seemed more like Marge Simpson was the smoker in The Simpsons. Except for Patty and Selma, who, you know, smoked on camera, so I suppose they were technically the smokers. Marge was a closet smoker. Even though she was sort of always, you know, that's something Marge Simpson was real kind of judgy about Patty and Selma and their smoking. How come you gotta be so judgmental, Marge? They're your sisters. You should accept the fact that they have a slightly unpleasant habit, and then, you know, don't judge them. Just embrace them and love them for who they are.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
Oh, good. Just what we needed, a collector fight. On the plus side, we're optimally positioned. Or, you know, I mean, sort of. And we did get surprise here, so we're going to be able to work this guy over really well before he gets a chance to do much to us at all. I mean, check that out. We just dropped him down to 55 health in 1 turn. I would say sort of riggedy wrecked, yo. We kind of ruined his shit. Healing yourself as opposed to the collector is an unusual choice, but I'll allow it. Bradshaw taking a slice, resistant to bleed. That dodge, though, Dawson, is... Oh, shit. All right. Bradshaw is marked. He's in real trouble here. We got to go for the adrenaline rush. Pete, why the adrenaline rush? Because it lasts a while, and we could... You're serious? Everybody's going after Bradshaw. All right, now he's bleeding. Yep, there's death's door. Yeah.
Hold fast.
Well, we're going to true test a bandage. How about that? We can't eat food during combat, but we can... Throw this up there, and then we can drop a directed heal on his dumb ass to try and pull him back into the fight. Alright, y'all, you gotta start doing a little bit better here, because that last round was real subpar. I'm mostly looking at you, Dawson. I'd say you made up for it there, but you sort of didn't, even though that is fatal damage on the cleric. Definitely just give another big heal to our boy Bradshaw back there. He's looking a little peaked. Okay, headhunt for Maud Flanders, 10 damage and a bleed. Cleric bleeds to death on their turn. Collector is probably just going to summon more dudes. Let's get more speed and crit going here. Collect call. Yep. Bringing them back. That's fine. We need to win some speed rolls. You bring them back, and I'll put them right back in the dirt. An AoE heal would not suck here, but I really just want to put some more damage on the collector before he gets healed again. So yeah, let's just keep stacking it on him. If we can get that bleed on him, that bleed is useful. Get more battle ballad, as much speed and crit as we can get. These guys are going to go triple round on this. This is the one drawback to the battle ballad, is oftentimes you will get hit consecutively by the entire enemy team once you've got your speed and accuracy and whatnot so high up. It does have some negative consequences. Okay, give me the bleed, though. Oh, resisted. Right, give me the double kill. Not quite. We could go for some healing here, but what we could also do is go for some damage and then get a little bit of healing out of it. It's not as big as our biggest heal, but dang nabbit, it's good enough. If Bradshaw would get into a position where he could solo all of these guys after they just came out, and then we could follow up with the finale, I would likely try it. Bradshaw's getting ruined by all these headhunts, though. Okay. Double kill? Yeah, single kill and a good start. Gotta throw the directed heal here, Bradshaw. That's my girl, Maud Flanders, right there. You know what? Yeah, do solo. Tweaking these guys up a little bit. Doesn't really interfere with our flow because our Hellion is still pretty darn good out of the third position. And barring a heal, we do have fatal damage on the Collector now. Little headhunt. All right, Maud Flanders getting sliced up again. See, he's got 6 health left, so he's definitely dead. He's still bleeding for 6, I believe. We're going to take another Collect call. He's got 3 damage on him per round for 2 rounds. We're going to finale you. Pete, why'd you finale that guy? Because I really want to set Jack Dawson up for the double kill here. Push the Collector to the front and then see if we can't mace bash him down with Maud Flanders. Well, got really close. No, I can't risk Maud taking like a luck shot from this guy. The Collector is dead. I mean, he still has fatal damage unless this heals him. I don't think it does. Oh, it definitely does. Well, shit. Okay, we should have killed him. I was wrong to not have killed him. That was a mistake. We could have just murdered that man. Fight could have been over. Everybody could have been happy, and instead we're doing this. Stress healing, because as long as we win some speed rolls here, these guys are still dead. Jack Dawson kills them both with 1 swing. Not quite. Well, the Collector still has fatal damage, so you know what? Hell with it. He's down to 2 hit points, and he's bleeding for 3. And Maud, let's have you go for the Divine Comfort. The double critical on exactly the key party members, Maud Flanders. That was perfect. Puzzling Trapezohedron, giving us a little bit of extra boostage. Get this food. Put our party back in order. You know what? Here, get rid of that debuff, by the way, also. Just ditch that. I want this first hit to coming out of your finale to be a big hit. I want it to be like a Mark Wahlberg film from the early 90s. The big hit. Did we get a critical scout? Okay. Let's take a look at the map. We could do one more fight. We do still have an opportunity to camp as well. We have way too much food. You know what? Let's go ahead and do one more room. We could get some, like, we can get 3 curios fairly easily here. And again, we have way too much food. Another rack of blades. We used our last of our bandage, so you know what? Let's just leave that alone. We still have some torchlight too, so there's really no disadvantage in coming in here to do this fight. We're pretty well set up for it, and this is where me pressing my luck gets me like 82 different varieties of disease from this pig man. Maud Flanders is taking it to the... They're always taking it to the twat with Maud Flanders. These guys in their hook 'em where it hurts. These pig men are real misogynists, man. I'm not cool with that. Why you guys hating on the ladies? Constant hook to the snatch, man. You know, I bet it's because just they don't know how to express their lust. They seem really repressed and like pent up, and they just don't know how to properly interact with a lady, and that's the best way they can come up with it. Just be like, I'll walk up there and just throw a hook at her. I mean, you know, I'm gonna grope her vagina with the hook. That's what ladies like, right? Just wander up there, take a hay hook, slice it into their organs. I'm told ladies are into that. I have it on, you know, good authority from definitely irreputable sources. Another power vomit. Don't get diseased. That's all I care about. Good. Jack Dawson, I also care about you killing that pig man, which you did. Admirably. Well done, sir. Performed with aplomb. That guy bleeds to death. Doesn't leave a corpse behind. Nothing but the fresh scent of pine and bacon. All we need is 1 speed roll, and we got it. Well struck. Nicely done, everybody. Okay, so, yeah, some stuff is going to find its way to the floor then. Eat that food. Pick up those emeralds. I think we use a key on this chest. Unlock the hidden compartment.
Finding the stuff is
1,000
only the
gold,
first
2
test.
portraits. Okay,
Now it
I'm
must
here.
be carried home.
I just don't like to waste food. It doesn't matter even though I don't need it, and it's not valuable at all. I still don't like to waste food. So let's go back down to this room. We might as well hit these 2 curios on the way, assuming Elizabeth March doesn't steal them. We'll be fine. Okay, see? 2 extra portraits for our trouble. And, I mean, we could give somebody a huge damage boost here. Might as well. Sometimes when you do this, you also get cash. Oh, alright. We're going to come down to this last room, ditch our last camp, get rid of all of our stress, and then just get out of the dungeon. Or alternatively, we could have camped instead of just leaving the dungeon because I'm an idiot. Clicked the wrong button. You know what? To hell with it. We still did really well. Blasphemous Vial. This was the most important part of our quest here. This is why we did the long dungeon. We were looking for this bad boy because now we got an open slot in the darkest dungeon for a plague doctor. Also picked up some heirlooms, which not the end of the world, but hey, 22,000 in cash and prizes don't suck either. And more importantly, some people making it to a higher resolve rank. Got 5 here for Jack, 5 for Maud. Nick Bradshaw's a weak grip on life. Oh, that's terrible. That's one we actually need to get rid of. Weak grip on life means if you get hit after a death blow on New Game Plus, you are going to die. Clutch hitter replaced natural swing. That's objectively a downgrade. Weapon tinker replaced irrepressible, which irrepressible I think was minus stress, so that's sort of a wash. Scurvy is never good. Weak grip on life has got to go, and skilled gambler is pointless. Increased chance of winning money while gambling in town. You know, assuming you're gambling for stress relief, not just having your jester do it.
The town is alive with
Okay,
wild
hey, the town is
magic.
alight with the spirit of goodwill and revelry, but this life-affirming attitude is not predicted to last long. All treatment facilities are free. Well then, let's take advantage of that. Sanitarium. I don't suppose we could upgrade the treatment library. We would need 60 busts to get our treatment cells up to 3. We're very unlikely to hit that right now. Very unlikely. But anybody who's got a disease is going to get rid of it. Trinity, what do you got? You got bulimia. Okay, that's not terrible, actually. Bulimia is, yeah, you heal less when you're camping. That's not the end of the world. Dawson, you got the fits. That shit's got to go. That cured. And then I think just it's going to be Maud getting rid of her scurvy. And Bradshaw getting rid of... Oh, Jesus, good lord. He's the sickest man alive. His diseases can't decide which one wants to kill him first. Also, we could lock in a positive quirk, or we could get rid of a negative quirk. Meditator sucks. Eldritch Slayer, though, is real good. Like, maybe worth lockering in good. Nervous is bad. Tuckered Out is also kind of bad. Would I rather lock in Eldritch Slayer or get rid of Tuckered Out? Or get rid of rather Nervous? I mean, Hoban Washburn's last mission may be just going into the darkest dungeon. In which case, Eldritch Slayer is very... You know what? I think I would rather lock in Eldritch Slayer. So let's do that. And we've got one more quirk, so our next party... I mean, it's likely going to include Caitlin Stark. What do you got? Early Riser, Hard-Skinned, Unholy Hater, Ruins Adventure. No, I don't want to lock in any of that stuff. Fangophobia is terrible. Slow Draw. All of this stuff sucks, actually. But most of it is gone after the first round. Fangophobia, however, is just real shitty. You know what? Yeah, let's get rid of that on Caitlin Stark. So, I mean, it's not locked in, though. I just don't feel like Slow Draw. I don't feel like any of that stuff. We should get rid of one that's locked in. We should get rid of a negative quirk that's a lock. Dispomania, Known Cheat, Wield Phobe. None of those are going to ever be relevant. Rita Morgan, what do you got? Bloodthirsty, Tuckered Out, Unquiet Mind. Again, none of those are really going to ever be important. Brody? Bloodthirsty, Soft, no. Anything really good to lock in? Also no. Crowley. You just have Witness, which is fine. Sickly sort of sucks. Last Gasp, On Guard, Quick Reflexes, Eldritch Slayer. I'm tempted by Eldritch Slayer. Sorely tempted. Precise Side Striker is already locked in. We could go Clutch Hitter. I mean, these guys are already actually busy too. So, I mean, so far, the best thing I've seen maybe is to just get... I really dislike Fangophobia because we always want our torchlight that high. You know what? Yeah, just do it. Get rid of this. Why the leather straps? You know why. You know why, Caitlin Stark. We'll also check out our stagecoach to see if there's any promising... Nope, not a single one. Let's get any promising potential recruits. Not a one. 16 deeds and 15 crests. You know what? Yeah, let's take a look so we can peek at more heroes. That gives us a more likely opportunity of getting one who's leveled up. We still have quite a few open roster slots here, which is sort of surprising, except for, you know, given the number of people that we have sent to the Boneyard. It's less surprising than it should be. It's also troubling in an entirely different capacity. And this episode, I think, is going to be over. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, consider subscribing as well. New episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.